Give it to Kyle Busch, the NASCAR Texas NRA 500, and he won it over Martin Truex Jr. The story? Well, wasn't really on the track. Dominating the race, the two Toyotas. Kyle led more than half the race, and most of the rest of the time was Martin Truex out front. The real story, the real action, the real drama was back in the garage. Back in the garage where Brad Keselowski, the defending Tour champion, and remember he's heading to the White House on Tuesday to meet the president. Be a good political punch for the Kansas 400 coming up next week. He got busted by NASCAR for a trick rear end of some sort, and his teammate Joey Logano got busted too. I think there'll be big fines and penalties coming around from what we're hearing. Could be as much as 6 weeks suspensions for the crew chiefs involved, maybe a $100,000 fine, maybe some points. Right now, Jimmie Johnson leads the points by 9 over Brad Keselowski, who managed to recover and finish well tonight. But I'm not so sure that Brad's going to be that close when he gets to Kansas next weekend. I think NASCAR's going to deduct some points. Brad was furious about the whole thing, called it shameful, said that NASCAR targeted the Penske operation over the last week or so. For some reason, he went ballistic on the whole thing. And I'm not so sure that we shouldn't be looking at the concept of the best referees, the best officials are the ones you never notice. Maybe that's the way we should be looking at things, because right now, NASCAR didn't look so good today. They did those two deals, and then they had a deal with Martin Truex Jr. after the race, after a heartbreaking second-place run, losing. They said he was too low. Penalty come in there too. Probably money, probably points. I'm not so sure that the inspection procedure that we're running under doesn't need a little tweaking. We'll have to see how that goes. But right now, the speed's lightning fast, ludicrous fast. Kurt Busch said before he blew an engine, he was looking strong. A lot of guys just weren't on their game here. Was it the speed? Was it the new car? Was it the bumpy track? Dale Earnhardt Jr. made enough mistakes for 3 teams. Ended up 5 laps down or something like that. Danica Patrick never did get going. Jimmie Johnson, he was sideways half the race, but he was fast. He was coming on. But then what happened to the Fords? Well, they were charging at the end. 2, 3, 4. Were they playing rope-a-dope down the stretch? Carl Edwards? And I'm not so sure that those Fords, if we had another couple of laps to run, might not have chased down those guys at the front or another caution flag. They were strong at the end. Where they were the rest of the night, I have no idea. It was one of those strange nights, 3.5 hours of yawn, and I'm not so sure why, but you'll get that sometimes in Major League Auto Racing. Kyle Busch over Martin Truex Jr. and Jeff Gordon. How do you break a wheel hub? I'm not sure I understand that either. Well, we'll ask him some more questions when we get to Kansas next week. Mike Mullen from MikeMullen.net. Texas Motor Speedway, Kyle Busch.